Welcome to Narrowboat at James Bill. Hope you're very well. Thanks for joining me. It is a brand new week on board and I've got a lot to crack on with this week because next Monday the boat's going to be craned back into the cut. So I've discussed it all with Ralph. That is the plan. So before then, there's a few bits to do in the engine bay. So starter battery needs to be connected and crimped up and lugs put on and all that kind of stuff. The skin tanks need to be bled. The weed hatch needs to have the seal put round it, and kind of that weed hatch needs to be just finished up a bit. I think that's about it. Oh, and a isolation switch for the starter battery needs to be put in. So those are the kind of things for the engine. In terms of internals, well, I just need to kind of crack on. It makes a difference for that. But really, as soon as we're on the cut, then there's no room here in the basin for me, so we're going to have to be going. I've spoken to the CRT, so they're cool with everything. The only thing I need to do is kind of make it as borderline comfortable for Marlon and myself as we cruise up to Berkhamsted. So kind of continue to empty it, but really the first thing I need to crack on with today is the water tank at the front. So at the moment it's on the it's in the well deck, so the tank needs to be brought in, sorted out, the floor needs to be done, some joists need to be put down, and then I can get all the floor laid here at the front, and then I can start to kind of make sense of things much better, and then hopefully we can have running water on board for our trip up. I've got to batten the bottom of our base plate there at the front, and then put some board down, trim all that, get it right to size, bring the tank in, connect it up, possibly fill it. It's going to be important for me to make sure that the water tank is at the same level as these floor joists here, but because the shape of the base plate kind of goes upwards, I can't put them longitudinally, otherwise I'm going to have to kind of scribe them all. So I'm going to put two joists going across there, so I'm just working out the height that they need to be to keep it on the level, and I'll have to cut out a little bit of it so it can go underneath that joist. I think that's the way I was going to, best way to do it. That way it goes all the way across from side to side. Set square. Just cutting out this notch now for it to go underneath that batten, and then I'm just going to use a bit of this 2B1 to go on the other side of that batten, which is the same thickness as that, and it will bring it up to the same height. Right, so this is the solution I've got at the moment. Just put to kind of notch that in there, so it's at the same height as that existing level there. I can screw that into there, and then I'll put some Sikaflex down and secure all that to the floor, screw through into that. That one there might shimmy backwards a little bit, but that's like the level now. So I'm just going to test it with the floor, then put the water tank in on a dry run just to make sure it's all the right kind of level, and then take it all apart, black it all, and leave it to dry. Right, there's now no clearance in here for the filler, so that does need to be lower. Okay, out she goes. Okay, so my rethink idea is going to be get rid of that altogether now, because the tank has to sit quite far back. So get rid of that, and then put in some small lower battens just down here, to put a floor down to hold the tank on. Yeah, that'll work if I just Sikaflex it all in place. That'll be fine. Okay, let's check it with the tank. I think it's sitting too far forwards now. See, it's not quite lining up. I'm wondering if that's because of the spray foam insulation at the back. Might need to be trimmed off a little bit, although I don't think I'm going to have that much to trim off it. We'll see. The other good thing about it being on this kind of slant, you see it's kind of angled down. Obviously the outlet's there, so it means that when the boat's in the water, kind of the water will be pushed towards the front there, so it will always be heading towards the outlet. Yeah, so right, I'll pull it out and see if I can cut away some of that insulation. Right, good news, I've now got the tank to line up. So I'd better get some flexible hose onto that. But yeah, it's lined up, so it's on. I've lowered it at the foremost part, so it's kind of leaning back that way. It still has a gentle slope towards the outlet there. And then I'll put a brace down at the bottom to fix it in place. And then maybe a brace from side to side to hold it a bit higher up. That'd be fine. So now I need to take it apart and Sikaflex it in place and then black it all. So I just put a bit of grip fill extra on that foremost one, and that one's already been stuck in place. So go and get that one in. Ouch. There we go. I'll put some weight on it and let it go off. Well, obviously the cap comes off easy enough. These screws are all screwed, and they're not bolted, they're screwed in. I mean, it's fine, although it's been put in upside down. So whatever way you put the lid on, it says water facing that way. I think I'd have preferred it to have, anyway, it doesn't really matter. But I was gonna see if I can take that out and kind of clean it up and put it through with bolts, but apart from drilling it out, so I think I might leave it in place. The reason is I wanted to take it out is because it's easier to install it if you can take that bit out there, because then it's got a bit more play, because my replacement hose or pipe is not exactly flexible, so it's easier to kind of put the whole thing down in one go, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that because I can't get that out. Right, well, I have decided to drill it out because I don't know, I kind of want to do the best job I can with everything, and if this is not going to be the best to install, goggles on. Yeah, that can be cleaned up a little bit, and then that can be cleaned up, put in the right way around so it sits like that. But also then I can put the pipe onto it once it's in and kind of lower it onto the tank, and then it's a much nicer fit. So I've got that out now, so I can either clean this up, although this is a brass one and kind of fancying everything to be stainless or chrome on the outside of this boat, so I might upgrade that. The hose I need is, I think that is an ID 34, because this is an ID 32 and it's a fraction too small, so I need to go to the chandlery and get some more of that. Well, basically that of yeah, a bit more of that basically, and get myself a new one of them. Okay, so out with the old, in with the new. Check her out. Much better. So I'm not going to put it in properly yet, because what have I got to do? Well, I need to silicone it to the top coat. So basically I'm just going to kind of keep it in place for the time being, get it all lined up, and then I'll tap it through, put it through with some bolts, and then I'll take it apart and Sikaflex it once all of this has been painted. And the other reason I'm not going to secure it in place properly today is because the fancy securing stainless steel bolts I've got are the wrong size, so I need to get a whole load more, but I'll put them to use somewhere else. Right, tank's now in place and in line. There you go, you can see the tank and the hole are nicely aligned. Right, so then put the hose through the hole and attach it to the tank, and then mark off there where it's got to be cut. Right, so I've trimmed this down now to size. Got my 2 Jubilee clips. So basically that goes on there first, and then as soon as it comes in, start feeding the Jubilee clips on, and then straight down. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so one down the bottom there, and then one onto the top there. Screwdriver. Right, there's still a little bit of give in that, but obviously once it's bolted down, then there won't be any give in it at all. But you'll see that the hose is not steel braided, so it's got a bit of play in it. So, but anyway, that's good. It's not buckled, nice kind of easy fit. So that's all pretty good. Next thing I need to do for the tank is clean it. So I went to the wonderful Denham Yacht Station just now, and I got myself some freshwater tank cleaner. Right, I've just been reading the instructions for that tank cleaner, and I've got to soak it overnight for 24 hours. So, and then drain the whole tank. So that's going to be far easier to do outside the boat than where it currently is. So tomorrow I will take that apart, because I need to drill the holes for that once I've got the right bolts. And then I can slide that out, take it down, I take it outside and do that for 24 hours. Right, that's tomorrow's plan sorted. Well, I might as well clean the tank now, really. No point waiting until tomorrow to do that. So I'll undo these, take the tank out, get somewhere near a tap. I think I've got a hose on board, and then fill it. Right, I got the tank out the boat, and I've got myself a hose. So this stuff says use 2 something or others, 100 mil per 20 litres. What's that? 650 litres, I think that is. So 100 mil per 20. Oh, sorry, I think I just chucked the whole bottle in. Right, I've now positioned the tank on a bit of a slant, so it should be easier to... Oh, hang on a minute. It's all going to come out of there because I've got no stopper. That's not going to work. Maybe I should fill it up like from that side there. Then I can get it all filled, can't I? Well, I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, so that's going to be the only way I can do it without it all emptying on me. Okay. Well, I can hear it hitting the bottom of the tank. Hose in. Water on. Tank filling. Albeit rather slowly. As this really slowly fills, I'm starting to get a bit nervous about, well, the fact to be a bit top heavy. So thinking I'll put that one, oh, that was what I thought came off it. Must have been, oh, is that one there then? Right, I'll put that back on because it's just got some kind of tap to it. And then I think that's the tap off. Right, now I can lay it down and fill it kind of a bit more comfortably. Well, that is pretty much done. It's taken an age to fill. I've basically edited this whole video. Needs a good clean, that's for sure. You can see it's baffled, so it's got an air gap in the middle, so it's kind of got 2 main areas. Because there's flex there. Oh, there we go. Right, the overflow. Now the tank's been filled, you'll see that obviously the overflow, or the bleeder, was flowing. And you may recall when I ripped out the walls from the boat, that this had some kind of pipe construction basically coming up to here, inside the boat. And the idea of that is that you would see it there before it got to that height, obviously. So it's just a height thing, but I don't think that's the way it should be. That should be having a outlet to the outside of the boat. I'm pretty sure that's how it's meant to go, and then you see the water falling in the cut and you realise that you're full. So I'm going to double check that, but if anyone would like to fill me in on that, then that would be good in the comments. Thank you very much. But I'm going to leave that for 24 hours and then drain it just by opening the tap, and then I can put it back in the boat, secure it in place, or give it a clean first actually, and then put it back in the boat. Happy days. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're very well. See you tomorrow. Bye.